Hello and welcome to today's video. We will be discussing all things health with regards to our feet. Feet often get neglected, but it's so important that our feet are mobile, they're strong. If you think about all the exercises we do in the gym, including squatting, lunging, deadlifting, running, jumping, any of those exercises, walking, our feet are at the primary source, the starting point of all of those exercises. Without healthy feet, we're going to find potentially that we have ankle issues, knee issues, hip issues, pelvic floor issues, and whatever our feet are not doing, all of those muscles are going to have to do the extra work of that. So I fully believe that foot health really can be the pinnacle of all things strength, lower body. So today we're going to cover some exercises. We're going to do some trigger point work. We're going to be doing some mobility exercises, and hopefully they help. Let's get started.
So I would consider a functional foot a wide foot, so a wide toe box with a stable muscles through the feet, through the arches of the feet, and also a good range of motion in the ankles, which enables the body weight to remain centered in the base of support, which is the feet, during the entire movement of, say, a squat. Using a squat as an example, good squatting posture can be adopted with minimum compensatory movement in the knees, hips and spine. Now, with a rigid toe-shaped foot, so the feet are all scrunched together, weakness in the arches of the feet, it causes that rotation through the ankles, which is going to impact what your knees and what your hips do. So we really want to strive for a wide toe box, strong arches in the feet, and being able to ground the foot with the big toe, little toe, and heel. So let's work on the muscles of the feet. We're going to grab ourselves a ball. I'm using a lacrosse ball. I've used a mat just to make sure that the ball doesn't slip. We're going to wedge the ball into something that doesn't move. So I've used just the corner of the room, and I'm going to spread my toes as wide as I can around the ball, looking for a bit of a stretch through the back of those toes. I've added a lift with the heel, and I'm pressing my weight forward into that ball, really aiming to feel a stretch through the back of each toe. Now, depending on the tightness of your feet, you may not be able to raise your heel as high as I have done in mine. You may feel a good enough stretch just by raising the back of those toes. Now, you can see here when you're doing an exercise like a lunge, you want to have that range in the feet, in the toes, to enable you to have a better range of motion through your lunges. That also includes running, any plyometric. So this way we're just stretching through the front of the ankle now. You may feel a stretch through the top of the foot. You may feel a stretch through your tibialis, so the muscle on the outer side of your shin. Now we're going to work through the fascia of the actual foot. So you're going to take your body weight and place it on top of the ball, and you want to make sure that you are relaxing your foot as much as possible. If your foot is all tense and locked up, you're going to find it challenging to really get into that muscle tissue and really loosen up that fascia. Once you find a spot that may feel a little bit more tender, you can hang out in that area for a little bit longer and do little rolls. You can do a contraction and then relax, and then a contraction, then a relax. You may find that the area behind the big toe is a little bit tighter. You may find that the arch is a little bit tighter. I have relatively flat feet, so the middle of my arch is normally quite tight. You can also play around with the area just in front of the heel of the foot as well. So now we've tackled the foot, we're going to tackle the calf muscle and the soleus. So we want to make sure that we're not on the Achilles, which is the Achilles tendon, the kind of hard, gristly feeling bit around the ankle. We want to make sure that we're above that. Place your other foot on the ground for support. I'm just going to roll forward and back, finding any trigger points in that area. So I am holding my body up with my hands. So my bottom is not resting on the floor. It can be a little bit tiring. So if you need to take any breaks, don't hesitate to do so. Once you find a trigger point, you're going to flex the foot and then drop it into relax. Flex and drop to relax. And that's just going to undo any knots. So working these areas are going to allow you to get more flexion through your ankles And that combined with the newfound mobility and space in the feet should allow for more stability and strength. So another area we are going to tackle is the outside of the calf and also the tibialis anterior. So I'm sitting in like a 90-90 position and I'm using my hand to apply a little bit more pressure when I need to. Make sure you are not on the bone for this one. So it's not the shin bone, it's over just to the outside of that. And again, the muscles here, if there are any trigger points, that's going to dictate the mobility through your ankles, which again is going to impact your knees and possibly your hips. So really getting these spots nice and loose is going to allow for a bigger range of motion and just less restriction when you're doing your squatting, your lunging, your running. Now I'm going to take the weight on top of the ball. So it looks like I'm on my shin bone, but I am not. It's still resting on that muscle to the side, the outside. So it's your tibialis anterior. And then I play around with the foot. Just when I find a trigger point, flexing and relaxing the foot. That's great. Awesome job, guys.